Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everybody. Now we are here for presenting our paper in the first International Conference of Education INACOE in Univeritas Muhammadiyah Tasikmalaya in March 2021. Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Isnaini. I'm from Kantor Bahasa Provinsi Lampung, and then Wuri Saputri from Univeritas Muhammadiyah Pringsewu, Berta Natalina Selitonga from Universitas Pelita Harapan Jakarta, and Muhammad Farid Zeno from State Secretary of the Republic of Indonesia. We are presenting our paper. The entitle is Learning Effectiveness Between Video Tutorial and Paper-Based Manual in Executing Procedural Tasks. This presentation will be divided into 5 sections. The first is Introduction, then Theoretical Framework. The third one is Method of the Research. The fourth is Finding and Discussion, and the fifth will be closed by Conclusion. Now let's come to the first introduction. The objective of this research is to investigate the effectiveness of using video tutorials in executing procedural tasks. Then, what is and why video, and what are and why procedural tasks? I think it is the main important question. Some consideration. Why video? Well, nowadays, there are more people who use video than paper manual instruction. The use of video as instructional media has been widely used in many countries. Many people argue that this multimedia device has many advantages for students and teachers. The ease use is one of the benefits in using video instruction. Also, the spread use of computers and the decreasing cost of internet bandwidth facilities can ease people in using and making video and animation in computer-based learning environment. Video is also very appropriate to deliver a large amount of information in relatively short of time. If pictures are said to be worth 1,000 words, I think video is assuredly believed to be able to present information worth 1,000,000 words. Then, why procedural tasks? The procedural task requires higher order thinking skills, not declarative knowledge or factual information, and it needs attention and effort or cognitive processing to perform sequence procedures, and also it is useful both for learning and job aids. There have been numerous studies investigating the effectiveness of using video on learning performance in comparison to static pictures or paper-based manual instruction, such as Donker in 2010 examined the effectiveness of video instruction over print-based instruction. He investigated participants' performance by employing and students using video instruction and the paper. The findings suggest that the video-based instruction material are pedagogically superior in the use of instructional effectiveness in teaching practical skills than the print-based materials. However, there are also a number of research indicating that dynamic visualization have no effect on learning outcomes, such as Chanlin in 2001 found that static visualization to be superior over dynamic ones. So, there are inconsistent results from those research. Then, I think in this research, we have the novelty of this research. All of these processes lead to learning outcomes and learning attainment. And This research is not only focused on the learning outcomes, but also we include motivational beliefs and mood of the students to know the effectiveness of video instruction. There are some theoretical frameworks that behind in this research and become the fundamental theories. The first is modality principle, the second one is voice principle, the third one is motivational belief, and the fourth is Keller's ARCS model. We come to the first, modality principle. Modality principle suggests that deeper learning from animation than from single mode. In voice principle, deeper learning can be obtained from multimedia message when the words are spoken in human voice rather than in machine-generated voice. What is motivational beliefs? The motivational beliefs are based on value and expectation. The value and expectation comes from Achilles and Wakefield in 2002. The valuing the task is the same as task relevance. That is the person's valuation, interest, and commitment to achieving particular goal. And we define expectation like the same as self-efficacy. That is the judgment of one's capabilities to do academic tasks. Vollmeyer and Reinberg in 2006 investigate and suggest the influence of motivation on learning is mediated through motivational state. What is motivational state? It is a monitor of the fun, fear, frustration, and similar feelings that students experience during training. That's what we call mood. So, once again, in this research, our focus is not only on learning outcomes, but also we involve motivation and mood as the effectiveness of using video instruction. Now we come to the second one, method of the research. Method of the research. The first is participants. The participants of this study were 62 students with mean age 14.9 years from one of the junior high schools in Bandar Lampung. The students were randomly assigned across conditions. There were 14 male and 17 female in experiment or video group, and 12 male and 19 female in control group. Instrument. We were using some instruments in this research. The first is practice files. In this practice file, the learner should some tasks in text formatting. The second one, we use questionnaire. The questionnaire will be given to measure personal characteristic motivation in pre-test session. During session, we also measure participants' mood, motivational beliefs, and also the time. And after training, we use questionnaire to measure motivational questionnaire. In motivational questionnaire, we measure task relevance and self-efficacy. The third one of the instrument we use is test. Test consists of pre-test, post-test, and retention test. Pre-test was done before training. Post-test was done immediately after training. And retention test was done 1 week after the post-test. The procedures of this research. There are 3 phases. The first is pre-test session, the second one is training session, and the third one is retention test. In pre-test session, it will take 20 minutes, and in the training session, there will be 20 minutes plus 2 hours. In the retention test, the time takes 20 minutes. After the data were gathered, then we use data analysis. We use ANOVA with significant level alpha 0.05 to cite it. Pre-test, post-test, and retention test becomes repeated measures. And here the interface of the instrument. As you can see in the left side, there are the interface of paper-based manual. And in the right side, it is video tutorial. The content of the paper-based and video tutorial is the same. It consists of some procedural tasks in text formatting that the students or the learners should do. And after that, we will measure which one is the most effective in learning. Then we come to the result. Does video yield better than tutorial on learning outcomes? Here, the statistic, the descriptive statistic of the result. This is the pre-test, post-test, and retention test. From the pre-test, the difference was slight and not significant. It means that the prior knowledge of the participants is almost the same. There is no difference. However, in post-test, fortunately, the result is good. In the post-test, the compared means from both conditions yield significant differences, p-value 0.000. And in the retention test, the difference of means across conditions was also substantial, with p-value 0.000. Does condition affect motivation gains? Here also, we present the descriptive statistic. We categorize motivational into task relevance and self-efficacy belief. We measured before and after training. Before training, the task relevance is the p-value 0.04, and for self-efficacy, the p-value is 0.27, meaning that very significant. Then after training, we use ANOVA, and we use the pre-test before training as the covariate. In task relevance, the p-value is 0.13, and for self-efficacy, the p-value is 0.01, meaning that very, very significant difference. Does condition affect mood? We categorize mood into positive, neutral, and negative. Here, the positive mode, the p-value is 0.09, the negative mode 0.02, and the neutral p-value 0.17, meaning that the participant have negative mood when using video instruction. In the video instruction, the students can reduce negative mood in very good way. Why video is better? There are some considerations, there are some discussion that we can navigate. The first is what we call signaling or cueing effect. As we know that in the video and in the paper, there are some signaling, meaning the students can attract the sign. The second one is navigational principle. Navigational principle can navigate learner into the task. And in video, there is also learner control, means the video can be controlled by the learner by themselves. And also, there is also segmentation. In segmentation, here, the students can choose what the segment that they will do first. There is also practice, maybe. In practice, we believe that practice makes perfect. In video, the student can play and replay what they want, so they can do more practice in video condition. It affects learning outcomes. Why video is longer? When we measure the time, it is found that the video is longer than paper-based. We conclude there are three scenarios. The scenario 1, the learner playing from start to finish. Scenario 2, backtracking after difficult tasks. Scenario 3, backtracking in all tasks. In conclusion, the effectiveness of comparing video instruction and paper-based tutorial was successfully conducted. The results suggest that video was superior than tutorial in these respective points. The motivational belief of the participant also showed high, and the mood of the participant also showed positive mood, and in video condition, they can reduce negative mood. Further research is needed to include a systematic observation by screen recordings, and also maybe add a qualitative approach to accompany this quantitative measure for further analysis. And I think that's all for our presentation. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.